Alright, hello and welcome back everybody. This is David with Faramir's Rangers, and we're going to get into this, what you need to know about this tournament. We're doing it, well, I guess it's today, Saturday, because I'm recording this late. We're going to start this at 1 p.m. Central Time, and I'm going to be continuing it, different battles throughout the day, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But I want to talk to you guys about a couple things that are pretty important. Some of you might have doubts about whether you would want to play in this or not. So I'm going to address those right now. Sometimes you might think, oh, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough experience. I'm going to tell you there's going to be a lot of people in this tournament that don't have experience. The difference can be, are you going to be one of the players that are going to take the challenge and learn and grow and develop as a player? Or are you going to just sit back and, not take this opportunity that's being presented to you? Because this is a way to connect with other people and grow and develop. As I've said before, I have, just a group of just friends that I play with in Empire. And we started this, or actually I started this group, and I have 71 members, and these are people I regularly play Empire with in multiplayer. I'd like to see this list grow. And why would I like to see this list grow? Because as you can see here, all these people in the Total War Empire lobby, all these are locked battles. And what that means is these are people probably playing the AI. Not many people play locked battles and have somebody that will join their battle that they give passwords to. It's very rare, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Sometimes we've done it, but the majority of these are going to be people that are playing against the AI, and they don't want you to join because they want to play against the AI. Now, obviously, playing against the AI in this game is just, let's be honest, it just doesn't cut the mustard. So, what does that mean for you, being in this tournament? Again, this is a way for you to connect to other people. This is a way for you to develop your skills and forget about your fear that you may have in playing, because you know what? There's going to be a lot of people at the same level you're at. There's going to be people at a greater level. There's going to be people at a lesser level than where you're at. I can promise you that nobody is going to come in here and embarrass themselves, but I want to set up a couple things in saying that. There are going to be some rules, obviously, and I do want to discuss those. So the rules of this tournament are going to be as follow. Obviously, when you click on the lobby and you click join and you go into the battle, the first thing that you should do always when you join a lobby is, either say hello and ask for rules. You should always come into a lobby and ask for rules. This is common etiquette, and this is something when we're playing our games, it sucks to type out the rules and then people pop in and they leave and you sit there typing rules. So we made a rule in our community of Empire multiplayers, that if somebody joins our lobby and they don't ask for rules, it's auto kick rule number 1. The second auto kick rule is if you join our lobby and you don't respect the rules, you get auto kicked for it. The third auto kick rule is if you join our lobby and you're just a complete douche or a racist or something of that nature. These are things that get you auto kicked out. Okay, so if you can follow those 3 auto kick rules, typically you won't fall under any of the others. Now, the basic rules for this tournament are going to be 2 light infantry max. Let me first say, we're not going to do artillery, so it's going to be 0 artillery in this tournament, and I'm going to say why that is, even though I know there's a lot of people that like using artillery. The reason we're not going to have it is, obviously, if we have fixed artillery, it makes it for a camp fest and boring games. The other thing is, With artillery in the matches, it does slow down the pace of the battles, and the other thing is it does leave room for people complaining about overranging and other artillery cheats that are in the game. If you don't know about this, then I'm saving you the pain of being a recipient of some of these artillery cheats. So the reason I'm making the rules that I'm making are to make it easier for any person of any level to come in our game and at least have a good showing of themselves, okay? So no artillery, 2 light infantry max. Now, what do I mean by 2 light infantry? I want to be clear on this because we're going to have people of all different levels. This means any unit that has a greater range than 70, because 70 is your standard range. As you can see here, I was about to point to the screen, but that won't help you. But in here, you can see that range of 70 is for your basic line infantry units, your guards, your grenadiers, so on and so forth. But with your Windboucher Jaegers, for example, with Austria, they have 125 range. That would be considered light infantry, as you can see it in parentheses there. And you see Grenzers, 90 range, that's above 70, so they're going to be considered light infantry, as will Jaegers, and so on and so forth. Now, I will tell you in this matchup on today, Saturday, again, we're going to be starting at 1 p.m. Central Time, so that would be something like Chicago. The Central Time, 1 o'clock is when I'm going to start. And when you join, the battle is going to be Russia versus USA. Okay, it's going to be a 4v4 matchups. So that means 8 players total will be in this game. Now, in the rules, I want to keep talking about that. So it's going to be 0 artillery, 2 light infantry max, and it will also be only 3 light dragoons max. And what do I mean by that? It'd be any type of shooting cav, light dragoons, anything that shoots while mounted. So for Russia, or have we not switched? Oh, I'm over on USA. Okay, so if we're talking Russia, you have a couple units that would be firing while mounted. Light dragoons and the Cossack cav is a light cav that shoots while mounted. As you can see here on the screen, it says range 70, 35 accuracy. And also if you go into the unit cards, you can see that they fire while mounted. So these would be considered shooting calves. So you get a maximum of 3 of these at any selection. So this would fill out my maximum of 3. Or if I went with 2 Cossacks, I now have 3. So that is the rules. Or you can go with 3 light dragoons. Now, the next rule is going to be, once again, no artillery. I'm going to say this over and over again. No artillery. 2 light infantry. If I was to go with Russia, a light infantry could be a rifleman, because it has 125 range, which is greater than 70, a light infantry, or a Siberian hunter. All these different units right here for Russia have over 70 range. Now, I might be, you might be saying, why the heck are you keep repeating this? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what people bring. So I'm trying to be as clear as possible. That way we don't have the mistakes, okay? So any of these, 2 of any of these combinations. So you can take this, you can take this, you can take this. You can only have 2, okay? A maximum of 2 with any combination. Obviously these have more range. There's other ways to use less range units, but this is my suggestion. So if you were to build an army under these rules, you could build a general. Obviously, you're probably going to want a general. Some people don't take it. That's a different video. You need 2 light infantry would be my 2 riflemen, 3 light dragoons, and there we go. That's my maximums. Now I could build the rest of my army. I just can't take any more of the light infantry or shooting cav. So I can take anything. I can take some melee cav because they do not shoot while mounted. So if I wanted more cav, I could take that. And I could take guards, as many as I wanted. I could take line infantry. I could take grenadiers, hand mortars, Cossacks. I could take any of these units to build as I desired. And obviously you want to spend all your money, so if you're not able to spend all that money, you can keep working it around until you do end up spending all your money. So the builds might take a bit of time, but as you can see, you are capable of doing that. Other things you can do, you can do basic builds. I know this might get a little redundant, but you'd be surprised how many people don't understand. You can rank up your units if you have money left over to the point you don't. Okay? Now, with USA, if you wanted a general, you could have 2 light infantry max, again, is the rule. No artillery, so if you wanted to take 2 long rifles, you could take that. If you wanted to take a long rifle and a Morgan, all these units have greater than 90 range. Or you could take a Pioneer, even though it's a militia, it does have 90 range. Now this unit sucks, so I'd highly recommend you did not take Pioneer Militia. They're terrible, okay? Don't take it, be smart. Rangers are 90 range, so you could take that combination. Or you could take a light infantry, so then that would make your 2 max. Any of these combinations. Now I do recommend in taking a USA Army that you go with either 2 long rifles or you go with a long rifle and a Morgan. That would be the 2 combinations that would be wisest going up against multiplayer people. Now 3 light dragoons is your max, or you could go with Pioneer Raiders and 1 light dragoon, or you could go 3 Pioneer Raiders. Now I would not recommend this unless you're going infantry heavy, because Pioneer Raiders only come with 45 men versus the 60 of a light dragoon, and you can see that their accuracy and the ability that you have with them, 50 accuracy versus a light dragoon versus a Pioneer Raider is only 25 accuracy. So I'd recommend going with the light dragoon. Now the 2nd Continental is also a firewall mounted unit, so you could go with that one as well. I believe it's Lee's Legion, I think, dismount. You have to dismount to shoot. It's like a dragoon. I could be wrong on that. I'd have to be 100% certain, but one of these units you can dismount to fire instead of it doesn't shoot while mounted. I can't remember. Best thing, be smart. Go with the light dragoon. These units are overpriced for what you get out of them, so go with your 3 light dragoons, and then you have a lot of different opportunities to build out the rest of your army. Again, no artillery, but you can go with any of these definite. One other thing I want to mention. This is very important, Marines and Legion look identical, okay? Legion are a light infantry. Why? Because they have 90 range. So you need to be very careful not to take a Legion instead of a Marine if you want to go with that, because the Legions have 90 range, okay? So if you wanted to add Marines, obviously they're a favorite unit amongst a lot of people, and mixing them with Minutemen, so on and so forth, and get you some line infantry, and go with the militia, voila, you got yourself a USA Army build that is within the rules. So hopefully that explains the rules of the armies you can take. Trying to make this simple, since it'll be Russia versus USA, that should make it quite simple. And if you join the games when we start on tomorrow, you can see in my lobby I'll put Russia versus USA, and that should give you a clue if it is a tournament match. Now, a couple of the other things I want to say about this is somebody was asking if these are going to be live streamed. No, I do not plan on live streaming any of these battles. I'm not going to say for certain I won't. It just depends on my mood. I most likely will not do that. And actually I won't do that. And the reason I won't is because I don't want to deter anybody that might be wanting to play, and I don't want to put anybody under the pressure, because why? I don't want people to feel that this is a pressure type of thing. This is just basically for fun. This is not a serious tournament. This is not something to make anybody feel pressured. And also, I want to seriously stress that this is just a trial run to see if we can get players involved in this. Okay, so this is a trial run for Saturday, and this is just to see and make sure that we can get players involved in this. It's going to be Russia versus USA, and again, this is going to be a no pressure thing. This is for people to get acclimated with other players, to get an understanding for the style of the game that you're going to be playing, for the maps, that kind of thing. So if this is something that interests you, I highly recommend that you join, because once again, you might not, you're going to pass up an experience that you might have a lot of fun with. Now, if you don't want to play, that's fine. You can obviously enjoy. I'm going to record, or not record it, but I'm going to take the save files and make highlights of what happened, and I'm going to highlight players that did well in the game, and I'm going to try and highlight each player, things that each player did well. That way we can show and highlight the people that were joining the games, and yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, I don't think there's too much more to cover. If I have anything else, I'll make another video before we start. Once again, I appreciate everybody. If you do have any more questions, I please ask you to add them to the comments below, and I appreciate you for your time. And I think that's about it. I don't think I have anything else. Yeah. Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow at around 1 Central Time. All right. Looking forward to it.